Carol Stiles from healthykitchens.com and Bosch Kitchen Center. We're going to show you our brand new Artiste Nutrimill stand mixer. We love this nice little compact machine that gives us the same action that our big Bosch universals do, but is much more compact, much more affordable, and very easy to use. To start with, it comes with a nice 6-quart bowl here that will hold a fair amount of dough. We make 3 whole wheat loaves at one time in it, or you could do 5 white loaves at one time with it. The bowl locks onto the unit, and it also has an unlocking shaft that goes up the middle of the bowl that you can take completely out when you want to do cleaning. And when we're going to use it, we put it back in, give it a turn, and it's ready to go. And we lock the unit on the base with a nice click. The dough hook for the unit is also 3-pronged, like our Bosch universals are, but it's got one little extra feature. It's got a built-in dough hook extender. So this is what this little curve in the end of the dough hook paddle lets us do small batches of dough, like a single batch of pizza dough, less than 2 cups of water, for example, to start with. But the nice stainless steel hook here is going to do all the work and develop our gluten in our bread very quickly. It just drops on the middle shaft in the bowl. And finally, we have a 1-piece splash ring that has a slide opening on it that exposes over half of the bowl. And it will lock on the top of the bowl. And when we're making any bread dough, we're going to have that on. And usually I like to leave it open for making bread dough, and if you were whipping any cream or anything else, you can close it up and it's not going to have any splashes in your face. Now we're going to show you how we use the Artiste to make bread dough today. And I'm going to start with 4 cups of warm to hot water. You might see a little bit of steam coming up from it. And into that, we're also going to put a third cup of oil and a third cup of honey. I'm actually using Zagabi here, which is similar to honey, but it has a lower glycemic index. Now, if you measure them in the same cup, the oil and honey, they don't mix, but the oil keeps the honey from sticking to the cup. So that's all the liquids that we're using. But we're also going to add in now some of the flour. I'm going to use fresh ground whole wheat flour from our mill here. And we're going to put in at this point approximately half the recipe. So this recipe altogether is going to take about 10 to 11 cups of flour. So I'm going to put in 6 cups of whole wheat flour to start with. Okay? And this is fresh milled. It hasn't had time to settle. It is 100% whole grain. I've chosen to do a mixture of whole wheat and white for this particular demonstration rather than straight whole wheat. Not that we can't do whole wheat in here, but I thought it's time we do a little change. And so I'm going to put in 6 cups of the whole wheat, and then the other 6 cups of flour is going to be bread flour or all-purpose white flour that will let us have a little lighter bread to it. Now, once the flour is all in your bowl, we actually put our yeast in next. And this is 2 level tablespoons of our SAF yeast here that you see vacuum sealed. It comes so that it's hard as a rock, but once you open it, it's in powder form, and you just drop it in on top of the flour. So one of our favorite things to use. I also have 1.5 tablespoons of salt that I've dropped in there. This is 2 tablespoons of our dough enhancer. That's this product behind us that has whey, lecithin, and vitamin C. We like to use it in our dough so it keeps it nice and soft and pliable. Helps preserve the bread because we're making 3 loaves here, and if we were going to eat one, the other 2 would go stale, so we keep the dough enhancer and we freeze it. And that way the bread's going to stay nice and fresh. And finally, I'm going to add a couple tablespoons of gluten or gluten flour. And what that does is that gets the stretch going in our bread, especially when we're working with whole wheat flour. It tends to be a little heavier. Well, this will give it a little lighter touch to it. And the gluten is going to be developed by the Artiste machine. We're going to start it up on speed 1. And I think the first thing thing you're going to notice is it's very quiet running. Speed 1 is going to get the mixture starting to mix together well, and it'll start developing the gluten just a bit. Once I've got that done, I'm going to put it up to speed 2, and that's the speed we're going to run it at to do all our kneading. There are 6 speeds on the Artiste, and so we're going to use the higher speeds if you were whipping cream or making cakes. Gives you a nice big choice, as well as a pulse switch. If I had a lot of flour in there, I would pulse it a couple of times and then turn it on. So while this is going, we're going to add in our white flour, and I'm going to put about another 5 to 6 cups of the white flour. Now, when we're making bread in these stand mixers, we do not add flour according to the recipe. What we do is we are going to add flour until the bowl starts to clean around the edge if you're doing whole wheat, or is completely clean when we're working with some white flour like we are here. So this is, you're going to want completely clean. You can hear it's nice, quiet unit, and it's doing a great job of kneading. I'm going to let you see how it's kneading in a second here, but at the moment we're trying to get all the flour in until we get the right consistency. Okay, our dough has been mixing for about 5 to 6 minutes, and just before it's done, to stop it, we're going to put a tiny bit of oil on top, and what that does is that's going to make it much easier to take it out of the bowl, and then we're going to turn it off. Alright, we have stopped our Artiste mixer now after 5 to 6 minutes. I have put a little bit of oil on the counter here and rubbed it around on both of my hands. We're going to take the splash ring off the machine and also take out the dough hook. Now that little bit of oil that I poured in right at the last minute, that really helps the dough hook to come out nice and easy, as well as the dough when I turn it out here. And we're going to give the bowl a little turn. There we go. And with the oil on my hands, you can see, and the little bit of oil in the bowl, it leaves everything nice and clean. So we've got all the dough out. Now I'm going to separate this into 3, and we're going to make 3 nice loaves of bread from it. I'm only going to show you one though on the screen here. But I take the dough and I shape it like an egg. I lay it flat down, and then I roll from this end. And as I'm rolling, I'm kind of tucking in on the ends, and I get my loaf of bread. When I'm working with half and half like this, I want to fill my pan a little less than 3/4 full, maybe about 2/3 full when we do it. And we give it a little hit like that. That gets rid of any air bubbles on the bottom of your unit, any steam. Also gets rid of frustrations you have when you're making bread. We're going to take loaf pans too. We give them a light spray with our Vegeline spray, which is a wonderful product that doesn't have all chemicals and stuff in it. And that keeps the bread from sticking to it. We'll fill our 3 bread pans like this, and we let them rise for approximately half an hour. I usually use a warm oven, and then we turn the oven up to 375 and we bake it for half an hour, and our bread's done. So we can make bread, 100% white bread, any kind of buns, in less than an hour and a half, only because we're mixing it in a great mixer like this Artiste here. I want to show you one more thing with the Artiste too. We have a set of whips that comes with it. The whips are designed to hang down the bowl like this. They're the same shape as the bowl, so we can pick up as little as an egg white or do as much as 1.5 cups of whipping cream in it. It's a nice big capacity bowl. And we can use hot syrups or cold ice, cold things in our bowl. It doesn't harm the whips. These whips, as you can see, are steel, and they just add a lot of extra air to it. We'll probably do a whipping demonstration in a separate one to show you just how good these are. Anyways, if you're interested in getting an Artiste, you can give us a call. Our toll-free number is 1-888-735-1044. I'm going to just show you our bread here in just a few seconds. Okay, here we have our 3 loaves of bread that we've made in our beautiful Artiste by Nutrimill. The beautiful 100% whole wheat and half white flat bread. I can show you what they look like inside here. We've had them out of the oven about half an hour, and we've got a nice and cool so we can cut them. But you can see we've got a nice close texture to it. Beautiful bread, nice and soft. and makes a really tasty toast and sandwiches and anything else because we're making it with 100% whole wheat flour, that flavor that comes through in the wheat. Now I also want to remind you that our Artiste comes also with the whips that will let you whip anything from an egg white to a gallon of icing. And it also comes with this wonderful set of measuring cups and spoons that all stack inside one another. We've actually tried to get these separately, and they will not sell them to us like this. Only the people getting the Artistes can get these measuring cups, and it also comes with a spatula too for getting out the whipping cream and the cake mixes and so forth. So again, if you're interested in ordering an Artiste mixer, they come in 3 colors. We've got the silver one out here, but we also have one with a red stripe and a black stripe. And so you can give us a call on our toll-free number, 1-888-735-1044. Thanks for tuning in.